Hey, RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. It's been a little while. How y'all doing? I don't know if I've done a live stream since. Well, I did the live stream the day that I got fired, but not anything since. So good to be doing another live stream. I'm gonna talk some shit for a little bit. I got a little bit of time. Been trying to keep busy developing plans to move forward with the activism and trying to blend it with all of these other things that I've always been. Artistic person, kind of a wordy person, and I can rap a little bit. I need to introduce the rap material that I got into all of this, and I sound like myself when I rap. Uh, it's all the same shit. I sound like the gangster rap shit that they try to promote, that they try to push onto you. I sound like them, but I talk like me though, saying all of my shit. It's the music is very obviously political, but I don't sound preachy. I think it's pretty good, and I need to incorporate that into what it is that I got going on like ASAP. So I've been working on that, trying to refine that. I've started actually physically writing through the process of doing an outline and then a treatment. That then later on I'm gonna work on a more thorough outline for the documentary about my activism. I want to start working on that, and that's gonna be exciting because I'm gonna take a trip back home where I grew up at, and talk to some of my people. Show y'all my grandma's house where we moved to after leaving the Southside Chicago projects in '81. I think we moved out of Chicago. I wasn't even a year old yet. I wasn't even walking yet. I never even learned to walk in Chicago. My granny got us the fuck up out of there ASAP. After I was born, we got up out of there, and I think she saved my life with that, to get out of Chicago. So going back home is going to be awesome. To go back and get footage, get some interviews, do some storytelling back home where I grew up at, and just walk y'all through my entire life so I can piece this together for y'all, how it is that I became who it is that I am. And it's an interesting story. It's an interesting story, and I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but part of the beauty in discovering yourself and then rediscovering yourself too, because you do this over and over again, trying to piece yourself together through your whole life. I recognize this. That's why I don't feel my age, because I'm still looking forward to the change, the growth, the wisdom, and then the opportunities to apply the wisdom. I'm still looking forward to all of that, knowing that it'll forever offer itself to me until I'm dead. So I don't feel old in the sense that people feel like they've done whatever it is they're going to do and all of that. I don't feel like none of that. I still feel like, and I know for damn sure that there's a lot ahead of me in my life that I need to be doing, and everything around me that's propping me up to do these things. I see that shit clear as day, and because I can recognize that in myself, I have to give the piece to the next man to discover his story, because there's a very good fucking chance you got a hero story of your own to be discovering and then sharing with the world in some way, shape, or form. I'm fucking certain of it. And even if I'm wrong, even if you happen to be a nobody, which I doubt that you're a nobody, you always have an opportunity to either right your wrongs, or at least make the attempt to, or stand up for something good, conquer fears, all type of shit. This shit is out there for everybody. Like, there's something in your life right now that's been beating you, and you need to fucking stand up to that shit, or some outlet for you to express who it is that you are to the world, so that you can be a positive influence to somebody. To attempt to do that. You play your role in being a part of the greater good when you try to derive something positive from life, and then you try to spread that shit, man, like fucking peanut butter, man. Why not? Why would you not want to do that? The evil is very happy to spread itself. We have to take notes sometimes when we watch evil triumph over good the way that it seems to do. But in the midst of all of that, you will find yourself to either be a hero or a villain or something. You're going to play your part, whether you know it or not. And there's a story there of your life, man. That's why I got to leave you alone, bro. That's why I had to leave you the fuck alone. Because you have something. If your life is anything like mine, at all, if you're a fucking human being, and I'm telling you, man, there's probably something that's going by you. If you can lose yourself in all of the distractions, all of the soul stealing energy out here in the world, if you're susceptible to it all, like we all are, there's a good chance that something's being stolen from you. And if you can just open your eyes enough to realize that somebody's trying to take something from you, and then you can try to regain some of that energy, and then do with it what they hope that you wouldn't do, and that's something positive. You should try that. You should try to do that, and I should stay the fuck out of your way. It's just my philosophy in life, man. Because I'm very much happy in my life and how it goes, and accepting everything for being whatever it is. I've been through rough times that turned out later in my life to be blessings or part of the creation of who I was. Without these experiences, I would not have been. So then you have to start asking yourself, how the fuck is it? Do you create a superhero out of yourself? No superhero was ever created painlessly. All of the superhero stories are fucking traumatic, crazy, fucking bullshit, and turmoil and loss and defeat. Because what else would you expect of a hero when you know you're dealing with a world like this, man? You probably been through some shit. When I hear that some guy's a fucking a war vet from any war, really, have you actually seen combat? I don't gotta agree to know that I am dealing with a warrior nonetheless, because I can only imagine the things that you may have had to go through to survive that, and what that has capabilities of creating inside of a human being, positive or negative. I got my eye on both outcomes now, because I know a lot of y'all suffer from PTSD and stuff. But there's something honorable in recognizing how crazy life can be and what life could possibly offer, and then watching someone be a real soldier. It's kind of crazy. So I tip my hat to you. I know that's a powerful thing. I know there's some shit that goes on inside of that. Life is life, man. I try to be accepting of all of this shit, whether I agree with it or not. And we all do this. You'll watch a serial killer documentary, and you're not studying so that you can copy it. You don't really admire the motherfucker per se. But there's something interesting in watching different aspects of the human experience manifest itself right in front of you, you know? We do the same thing when we witness an artist or a pianist. They can play the fuck out of a fucking piano, and the kid to be, 14, 15 years old, and you're just like, how? Like, so much so, like, did you invent this fucking piano? Is that the key to your your skill set? Sometimes you really see people just zone the fuck out in whatever it is that they're doing with their lives. And what I see when I see a serial killer is that I see so much pain and anguish and hatred and violence that what we see on the surface could not compare to the weight of the darkness that it took to build up to that. That's what I see. When I see a kid that can do a Rubik's Cube with his eyes closed with one hand in like 4 or 5 seconds or some shit like that, I see all of the frustration and the time it took for somebody to even try to explain to you what the goal was, how to fucking make it work, how to do it. I see all of that when I see you do that like that. Because I know that it took that. I know it all came from something that people don't see on the surface when they see you doing your thing, when they see you in your form. People who really admire what it is that you got going on can imagine what it took to get there, and you can apply that thought process to anything at all to just find some blanket appreciation for even just being alive. I don't give a fuck what it is that's going on. I find it all interesting, and I've always been like that, and my life feels like I'm playing my part to be a little bit of that. I can feel it, I can see it. And thus, like I always say, man, I'll say it over and over again, that's why I cannot harm you. because something tells me not to fuck with somebody else's shit when they're trying to figure out what it is that their life and their universe is fucking taunting them into or out of. You know, and the universe will pull and tug on you. I seem to find that it's almost cliche to watch how life tends to get good in very deep ways if I'm paying attention, while the surface level stuff that can be bad goes bad at the same time. It's almost like it's a balancing act that the universe is playing on me by saying, you will find comfort in dealing with this surface level pain and shit if you are in tune enough to also recognize the power that the universe is trying to knight you with just before the storm. No pun intended. Man, RIP to anybody who died in Florida. God damn, this is crazy. And they better not be doing that shit on purpose. We'll get into that. But it's just beautiful, man. It keeps happening just like that too, man. I see it. I go, man, life is like fucking weird and bad right now. Then I go, oh, but damn, last week, didn't I just had this epiphany? I just had this feeling. I just had this overwhelming feeling of being okay. And then I go, okay, yeah, everything's okay. Everything's all right. And then, boom, something on the surface that happened. And then it's like, remember last week? And you said you knew, right? You said you thought and you felt and yeah, okay, then rock that then, nigga. This other stuff, man, chill out, bro. And then I had to back it up with that, like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so then I won't freak out. I'll try not to let it bug me at all. I'll just try to move forward. And it's already good. Who in the chats, man? Because I've been zoning. David Banks, what up? A pig's daughter, how you doing? Michael, what up? Rick, what up? Dale, Michael in his bitch. Nanya, what up? Nanya, Texas on the back 20 is almost always in here. I appreciate it. Hey, to my usual suspects, I would much appreciate it if y'all share the channel, share a video that you think that I might have said some controversial. I mean, I always say something that's kind of like, I can, even an average gun guy that loves the Second Amendment to hear me say some shit and go, I don't know, bro, that might be one step too far, 2 steps too far. Because I be looking for the concrete bottom line where there's no other place to go. There's no more conjuncture or rebuttal or definitions need. We don't need shit. There is nothing else to say. This is where we are now. How do you feel? Like, I do that, and sometimes people rock with me and they be like, I rock with you, but I don't understand this part, or I'm still gonna feel like this about this part, but I hear you, but okay, but you know, and that's fine. People don't have to agree with me 100%, and that's okay. But if you have a video where you know that I just seem to be informed, share with somebody who you think will love me, or share with somebody who you think that might think that I'm fucking retarded, because that's okay too. I actually need somebody to come forward to say that I'm retarded, and then mean it, and then back it up with something that I can learn from, so I can make an observation about myself, my train of thinking, anything at all, whatever it is that I got going on. Let me get my phone out the sun real quick, or maybe I can turn this AC up, because it is hot in here anyway. It is a little warm here. Let me turn the AC up, get that AC blowing on the phone, and that might keep my shit from overheating. That's gotta help. But yeah, y'all share the shit for real, because like, really, let's get into this a little bit. First of all, the 6-year anniversary is coming up on the 24th of this month, and I plan to do something big that day. I want to get I need to get 100 hugs in a day, and that's my way of making up for the fact that I never counted the hugs from day one, which somebody Somebody suggested that I do that. They asked me how many hugs I've gotten, and when I said I didn't know, I was like, oh man, I cannot believe I let that go by me. That I should have been counting the hugs, because I said something like number of hugs, whatever the fuck, number of rounds fired, 0. You know, and that's what I was saying when pointing out how valid it is that what I'm doing is helping and it's not hurting shit, because ain't nobody been hurt. Feelings might have been hurt. People might have got a little scared on sight when they see me, but that's about nothing. That's like being scared of, a haunted house. I don't give a fuck about how scared you were. You were never in any real danger, and I'm laughing at you, watching you be scared for nothing. If you're honestly scared, you look kind of silly to me, actually. That's me, the haunted house kind of a thing. And the only thing left that's even tangible at all is the help and the inspiration and the encouragement that I give for people to be more knowledgeable about gun laws here in Iowa, where I live at, or any other place for that matter, than to take the gun ownership seriously if they have it, and then to question whether or not they should become a gun owner themselves. All the while proving that I'm huggable. This is what I've been doing, and the positivity will always prevail over the negativity, because there's no tangible negativity, just a bunch of hurt feelings that I don't give a fuck about. So I'm super duper winning this shit. If you rock with me at all, if you understand what it is that I'm trying to do and say, and how important it is in the world right now, that I understand people like Andy. I love Andy from fuck whatever the fuck his channel. He got an IG too. That's dope. I can never remember what his fucking his YouTube channel is. But if you know Andy, the big guy, the big white guy with the big gray beard, he's got the black sidekick guy off camera who does this shit. They do a dope ass podcast. They get at the finances and all type of shit that they really teach. And the political shit is just one of many avenues that they take their content. And I rock with them. But even him, he says it probably more than anybody else on the internet, period, as far as how it is that I try to put this shit down. But even him, other people who really talking that good shit, Coley Underwater plays his part, I like him. He is necessary. What he does is what it is that people need to hear and see for them to understand what the fuck is really going on. That's their taste, and we need somebody to cover all grounds, and Coley Underwater is covering his ground, man. Can't hate on the man. I like him. But somebody needs to say it the way I'm saying it, that all of the political arguing is cool, because we're trying to play the game, to play fairly, actually, while everyone else breaks the rules. Somebody's got to stand up and say, I don't even know how long we can even talk to these motherfuckers. I'm almost done with the talking part. And somebody's got to stand up and say that. 250 years we've been arguing about the same stuff, about how these politics are supposed to go. The idea that one more vote is going to get a politician in that we can do this the right way, you are in fucking sane. Somebody has to call you insane. Somebody has to tip their hat to everyone that's doing the right thing, but then to remind us all that sometimes, man, the fucking tree, bro, I don't know what else to fucking say to you. I'm fucking tired of the bullshit. Someone has to say that part, then we need to put it in the focus, or else we'll never get there. If no one will say it, and we can't even put it in the proper focus about what it is that means, and then maybe even say it out loud. If this were to go this way, how would it go? And this is how you solve the problems. Because when I say, these motherfuckers deserve to be fired at, I think that's what we're looking at here. I instantly go into my intellect like I usually do about anything else, any other problems that I ever had in my life. And when y'all see this documentary, y'all gonna see the issues, and y'all gonna realize that I came out of some fucking shit, bro. Talk about fucking getting it out the mud. Bro, my life has been crazy. I'm pretty sure yours has been too. That's why I have to leave you alone. But my life has been crazy, and it's a testament to myself of all of the shit that I've been through, that when I speak, I know that I'm speaking. When I mean well, I know that I mean well. I will always err on the side of intellectual conflict resolution and problem solving, with the attempts to get what it is that I want without having to fucking die about it. If I can do those two things, I know that I have won the ultimate goal, the ultimate prize. I can't want the freedom and then be so willing to crash out to get it. that I become a fucking suicide dummy. Lone wolf missions are fucking dumb. I would never do no shit like that. I would recommend that you motherfuckers not do no shit like that. If you lead with violence, you're gonna have a fucking problem. That's why the word hug comes before AR-15 on my sign. It is the hug first, but the AR-15 will always be present because the world is not going to be cool to me because I'm being cool. Somebody gonna want the smoke and then I'm gonna give it to them. But the hug was always there first, and that's your fucking fault if we don't end there. That'll be somebody else's fault. It won't be mine. And somebody needs to say this stuff. That we did the talking, we already mean the fucking love, and I'm tired of fucking having to prove, feeling like I gotta prove that shit. I'm tired of that part of it, really. You know what I'm saying? And we have to let them know that we realize that violence will be the only thing, the last word we'll hear from them when they give commands that will cross lines that the average man won't be able to deny by then it'll be too late. If the average person stands up and goes, I think we should be revolting, this is fucking sickening, and our back is against the wall, this is the day. It's over. Never the same again. Like, by the time the average guy feels like that, it'll be too late. They'll have their fucking claws and teeth all in us, bro. We'll never get it back if the average guy can make it to that. It's already too late. Somebody has to say that. What it is that we want to get the real truth, freedom, and justice, and freedom from government control, from involuntary control. If that sounds like something that is not too much to ask for, that everyone in the world should just deserve, and to approve it otherwise, but on an individual basis, this is what I'm asking for. And I'm not even really asking, I'm insisting on it. And whoever shows up, when I'm not going to push to say that the answer to the question, to the request is no, then I get to say, well, then no to everything that you thought you were going to come here and say to me, and then that's fair. So, debating all of these things is cool. We need to lay it all out there that we've been through this, and then we need to map it out, even if it takes a fucking diagram, maybe even a Venn diagram, I don't give a fuck. What we've been through and where we now are because of all of the other things that have already been considered. And I feel like we're beating a dead horse trying to explain it to them that we are the people. I don't think they care. They got plans that they already said out loud that does not look like we are the people and we are the power. What it is they say they want will not look like we were in a position of this power to gain and maintain our own peace and prosperity and all that sweet shit that the Constitution is supposed to do, and it didn't work. Let's just admit it that it didn't work. This is the shit that motherfuckers won't just say out loud and then just say it and mean it, and then live your life like you've already accepted that the Constitution didn't save us, that it fucked us up. I live my life every day like I've already accepted that. Some of you motherfuckers won't even let me say it. You won't even listen to me when I say it. You won't even consider it sincerely when I say it. This is what the problem is. Because it's a question that has the fucking answer. You can't tell me that yes, the Constitution has saved us. It seems like I should get a unanimous fucking vote that the Constitution did not save us, because here we are fighting, scratching, scraping, trying to beat them off of our fucking asses and off our fucking backs about a 250-year-old argument. Why are we pretending like everything that I'm saying is not actually the case? I seen a video today on YouTube, and this is one of those things that I keep seeing, that the universe tends to do to me. Of course, there's an algorithm in what it is that I typically search. I get that. But when I am in my zone, in observing the simulation, so to speak, and what the fuck it is that's going on inside of my individual universe, from my perspective, beaming out in experience and then receiving in information, I am the center of this information exchange between me and the rest of the universe, and I am the center of my own perspective. That gives you power. Then you got to recognize that and not feel the ego inside of it, but just know that when you're dealing with other people, that is what you're dealing with on the other side. Or whatever conflict you create for somebody, you probably shouldn't do that. It goes towards everybody when you do this inner shit. You should feel super duper about yourself, and then grant that to everybody else until they prove that they're not worthy of any kind of cooperation from you whatsoever, because they've broken something moral. Then you say, I get to disqualify you, and now you can treat them like whatever. It's like treating a lady like a lady, but a bitch like a bitch. That's serious as fuck. Right? It's a real fucking thing. Right? I do everybody in the same way. You get all my fucking grace. To be all your glory in the universe until you disqualify yourself with me with some bullshit. Now I don't got to do that shit. You broke the fucking contract, bro. Type shit, right? But every time I do that, I seen a video earlier, yesterday, and the video was saying it was all about how like obviously psychotic the world is when people live their day-to-day lives knowing some way somehow that something is deeply wrong with the world, and then living on as if nothing is actually wrong though, because they're like scared to face it or whatever that is. Now I point that shit out all the time, and I call y'all all type of bitches and pussies and all type of shit or whatever, and I say it in my own ways from multiple fucking angles. But the way I heard this articulate, intellectual, almost psychological, like breaking down of what that is, when people do that, and what it is to witness that, being a person who's awakened to the truth and totally accepting it. I sincerely accepted that the world is fucked up, weird, crazy, being controlled by weird ass people who got weird ass sexual deviances and stuff. I've accepted all of that. I don't let it leave my mind every day. When I drive past a cop, I know I'm looking at a brick wall, a brick in the wall between me and the evil people running this shit, to be sure that I don't get out of line and that I get to work and pay taxes, right? And don't harm any of the other cows on this fucking tax farm, cash cows, right? I'm aware of all of that shit everywhere I go. It's like decoding the matrix, bro. All I see is 0 and 1s. It's like I'm in the movie They Live, and I got the glasses on, bro. You can't take them off once you put them on. It's too fucking late. Once you put them on, to go back as if you didn't just see that shit is crazy. As a matter of fact, it pulls you in, bro. And there's nothing wrong with deep, thorough, honest observation of what the world is. And I know that it's fucked up. I know that it's scary and weird. I know that it is. I look up in the sky and I can imagine like warplanes and helicopters like filling the skies, because I know that not only is my imagination only drawn for what reality will feed into it anyway, because I'm not the total source of this shit. I'm interacting with information. I'm not the total fucking source of it. So I can't blame myself for being able to picture this and then making a connection in real life to know that motherfuckers are siphoning money from the American people so that they can build the very things they can feel the skies right now, with death, with weapons, right? Why the fuck am I to blame then when I put those things together? Then I go, well, there anybody capable of doing that? These two things that I just kind of put together, I don't have to like you, and I will be very sincere and diligent in trying to identify you and calling you out, because I have nothing to lose with this over my head. No pun intended. I have nothing to lose now. Why not just do that? As a matter of fact, I think we got a better chance of stopping it if we do that, because we got 0 chance of stopping it if we act like it's not there. That seems like a silly response to me. A grown-ass man, a grown-ass human being in general, because women, I don't expect for you to be filled with the fucking rage of a warrior to actually address this with intent to be capable and willing to do better with it. I don't expect for women to feel like that. It's not even really in your nature. You're harboring incubators of life, and that's such a beautiful, delicate thing that you shouldn't even be where artillery is fired off. And as a matter of fact, it fills me with pride to say it, that I know that I fucking mean it. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm in tune with my animal side, with my dark side. I do the shadow work and all of that. I know the dark side of myself enough to know it, regress it when necessary, and then apply it where I can make it fucking work for me when it's honorable. Right? And the propensity inside of a grown-ass man with the testosterone and living in a world like this, I know I'm supposed to be hunting my own food. I know that. My nature won't let me forget that just because I can go down to the grocery store and satisfy all of those needs, right? At the grocery store. That won't always be there. It might not. Consider that, right? But nonetheless, all of that natural shit is still inside of me. This natural desire to want to look through wooded areas for berries, other sources of food, protein if I can find it, meat, do the hunting, all that, right? To kill something, to sacrifice, to, an animal of nature for the greater good of the people, to move on, to take on the flesh and to show all of the honor to it. You know what I'm saying? Hindus and other cultures say hey man, it is what it is when we got to eat one of these motherfuckers. But we know that they are the fucking the fuel of fucking life. Thank you. There's an honor behind doing all. I feel all of that natural stuff still, grocery store or not, right? Inside of all of that comes a thirst for competition, a recognition that other men can be fucking dangerous, maybe even for fucking very bad, nefarious reasons. So then you get this defensive perspective on this natural aggression that you have as a man, and you fine tune all of that stuff so that it works in your favor, so that you can maintain a moral high ground while also knowing that if you gotta fuck somebody up, you gonna do that shit. Psst, the fuck you thought else was gonna happen? What else could possibly happen in a world like this? To expect it to accept it everywhere else that you see it, and then look to me like somehow I've run afoul with nature by tapping into my defensive nature and saying, if I had to smoke a motherfucker, I'll do it. I ain't bad guys too. If they deserve that shit, I'll do it. Show me where one of these motherfuckers at. Who really on that? Like diddling kids and trafficking kids. Show me where they at, bro. Something tells me that all of the times that I felt that I had to fall back, anytime that I've ever been wronged or dominated in my life, anytime that I've ever had to stand up for somebody and taken a fight so that somebody else didn't have to do that. Anything, all of that, man, it all comes together to me in my mind when I know that good or bad, right or wrong, the world is not going to leave me alone because of who I am. Good people don't escape violence. Harmless people, they don't fucking survive the fucking violence, you know. And I think there's something very sad about the honest guy, the good guy who did no harm, who did not start that fight. I think there's something wrong with him losing that fight. I embrace it all, I recognize it all, and I try to place it in its proper position so I can see what the fuck it is for me to be a man in a world like this. And when I do that, all I can say is I will have that gun. Nobody can take it from me. I've already put in the work to prove who it is that I am. 43 years of life, I ain't never hurt nobody. I put my gun down 3 times in my life to fight somebody when I felt like the gun wasn't an issue. And one of those times, the gun was the issue. Actually, that was the answer. And had I been in another state would have granted me the right to use that firearm. And since I wasn't in a state that would allow that, I had to make that hard choice that I had to be wise at this time. And I chose to put my gun down to fight with my hands. And a good thing that I could compose myself, because in the state of Iowa where I live at, stand your ground state, I would have been able to smoke dude. But in this other state, I would have went to prison, and I would still be in prison right now had I done this. I would never be who I was. I literally dodged this opportunity for me to make a bad choice. And had I would have made that bad choice, that literally was a pivotal moment in my life, because I wouldn't be here right now to even be this. I wouldn't even develop into all of this. It would have never happened. I might have never even seen it for being this much of a possibility thus far. That's why the people that rock with me, I really rock with y'all. Because I can imagine a path in life where y'all wouldn't even knew me in the first place. I almost fucked that up in 2012, right? But that was a testimony to who it is that I am. Because if that motherfucker couldn't get me to shoot him, ain't nobody gonna get me to shoot him for no bad reason, not for no stupid reason. Nope, because I had good reason that I controlled myself. I had good reason. I said, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I better not do this. Do I have to do this? I couldn't ask myself if I wanted to, because then I would have just pulled trigger. The answer and the trigger pull would have all came together as one, a package deal. A yes and then a mag dump. That's what I was feeling like. Totally blacked out, tunnel vision, like literal tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. Scary, one of the scariest days of my life. And I controlled myself. And that was years ago. And I feel like all of that happened as like little tests, so that when I got out here to do this, I was already rocking with the confidence that I needed inside of myself to know that not only was I a good person capable of avoiding unnecessary violence, I was also capable of taking the moral high ground in the midst of an actual fucking conflict right in front of me. And sure enough, me and Cuz got into it doing an open carry. Y'all can check this video out. I might have to link it in the comments or something, because this is one of my popular videos that I try to point people to, because it really shows you how deep the discovery is inside of doing this open carry shit, what I've discovered about myself and society. But me and Cuz was out doing the open carry in Marion, Iowa, and some guy ran up on us. He was drunk. I could tell he was like kind of slurring his words, and he was swaying and shit a little bit. You can see it in the video if you really pay attention. And he yeah, he wanted to fight, and that's crazy. To call two guys out who are carrying guns, to call them out to a fight, I think that's kind of crazy. That's drunk man activities. You got to be drunk to push forward with something like that was going to work out in your benefit. Because I don't really think I thought I was willing to die for my activism, but he showed up that day like willing to die for whatever the fuck he had going on, and it was kind of crazy. But that's neither here nor there. But that's just to prove a point, though, is that even in that situation, you can even hear it in the video. He's calling us out to a fight. I thought I might have to defend myself for the way that he got out of his car. I thought he had a weapon, in all honesty, and he almost died that day because he scared the fuck out of me for a minute. But I controlled myself up until the last second where I had to make that final decision. I waited until I saw both of his hands before I moved forward. When in reality, a cop might not have given him them last 2 or 3 seconds, and a cop might have shot him. The way he did this was kind of crazy, and I kind of hated it. It was halfway off camera. You can see me a little bit, but you couldn't see him at all. But it was scary. I thought the man came back with a gun because he was already there. Then he came back. That's scary. Where I'm from, you talk some shit with somebody, y'all making threats, and then you leave, and then you come right back in 2 or 3 minutes. Niggas think you went and got something. You want to pull something from your trunk or something. That's what it looked like. That's what it felt like to me. Because he was hype. He was super aggressive for no reason. Man don't know me from a can of paint, right? But all of that was good for me. That was good for us to go through that. And the whole time while he's doing that, after I could see his hands and know that he didn't really have a weapon in his hands per se, he could have had one on him, but he didn't have it in his hands, and that was enough for me. You know, I moved on to the dialogue and not the expectation that I might have to actually defend myself. But the whole time I'm asking him, what is it that you hate about the gun? I'm trying to pull him into the conversation the whole time, asking him this question after he threatened me and all this other type of shit, running up on me, jumping out the fucking car. We got bulletproof vests, pistols on our side, and AR-15s. Like, who does this shit? Like, that's madness, bro. You'd have to be drunk. It sounds like a drunk dude when you tell the story. Nobody sober would do this. It sounds like kind of insane. But we prove a lot to ourselves and to the movement by getting out here doing this, man. And it's just undebatable. You know, it's a lot going on, and I think it's valuable, man. I think it's more valuable than what even I realized, because I haven't seen the total value that the movement has to offer. I know that for a fact. This is just simple logic that should build enough confidence in myself and in my followers to know that what it is that y'all have latched onto in its early stages is really some golden shit that I think is going to be can be national and historical, maybe even a global thing that I've done this. It should be globally recognized. I think it's important. I've seen weaker stories go nationwide or even global with the coverage or going viral for a while. This is something that definitely deserves to go viral, what it is that I'm doing. And if 100 million gun owners knew that this is what it was that I discovered as a path for activism to try to protect, save y'all, maybe get some of the gun haters off of our backs, maybe even boost our numbers so that more people see me and say, I'm going to buy a fucking gun too, actually, now, for the first fucking time. Thank you, motherfucker, for helping me see something that I wasn't paying attention to. Like, I'm hoping to do all of that. I would imagine out of 100 million gun owners, man, some of y'all appreciate me enough to be like, nigga, I'll give you $1 a month. I would give you 100 pennies, nigga, a month. Just do what you're doing all the time, and I'll give you $1. That's all I'm going to give you, but I will give you $1. There's 100 million gun owners in this country. I can't get 25,000 of y'all to do that. 25,000 out of over 100 million gun owners. 25,000 y'all don't think that I'm worth $1. Untrue. Now this is something that seems hard to do for the most part because it sounds super simple, but it's easier said than done for sure. But I'm not going to give in to the fact that if it didn't work for this movement or that movement, or if Coleon Noir had to take this path and this path to get it because of blah 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 whatever, I'm not Coleon Noir. I'm doing something different. And motherfuckers want me out here as much as possible doing everything it is that I'm doing and more. $1 a month from 25,000 people out of 100 million fucking gun owners. I'm not going to accept that as something that's just kind of hard to do, and I shouldn't think about trying it because it ain't gonna never work because people don't give, people don't support, and blah blah. I'm not going for that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It's way too important to a very close-knit, specific, critical, and controversial group of people. Not just in America, but in the world, because gun owners in America are known around the world for being who the fuck it is that we are, and motherfuckers is twisting the story, and I'm trying to get it straight. There's no fucking way in hell that it's impossible, not worth trying, shouldn't expect 25,000 happy gun owners to say, I'll give that nigga $1 a month. Just keep doing what you're doing. Do what you can to keep them from fucking seeing us in a bad light. Talk your shit, because you should be able to have a great, healthy discontent and conflict with government business, and you should be able to say what the fuck you want because you're not threatening anybody, and you should be able to do that shit with a gun in your hand, and it needs to be done just like that because you huggable. You just talking, bro. All you doing is talking and dropping truth bombs, bro. Until you lie or manipulate or threaten somebody, whatever could be the problem between me and another gun owner that's taking the gun ownership seriously. You take it seriously, you're gonna like me. Period. I don't know how you would take it seriously but then not like me. That's crazy to me. And the world of difference is who even knows that I'm here. Makes a world of difference. If you rock with me, share the shit. Tell somebody that you think my shit is whack. Tell somebody that you think my shit is golden, whatever. But you gotta share the shit. People have to know that I'm even here. I couldn't imagine like 1 million gun owners seeing my channel and then saying, I'm not giving that nigga shit. I don't give a fuck if he does what he's doing or not. Like, I think anybody would look at my shit if you bought a gun and say, yeah, man. Hell yeah, man, because I am a good person too, and I bought that gun. And I do not mean fucking harm, man. And I do want to be left the fuck alone because I'm trying to focus on my self-protection, protecting my family, and then protecting anybody in my zone of influence. That is what I want. I should not have to lose a fucking fight that I did not start. Yes, tell them that shit, Trey. I'll give you $1, nigga. Psst, come on, bro. You can't even buy a single round of certain ammunition for $1. I'm asking for less than a single round of ammunition per month to do what it is that I'm doing. You know, and I've never, of course, being fired from my job, then I start feeling like, maybe I should just throw this out there. But I've recently been trying to pay the work the proper respect that I work on getting the financial backing that it deserves, so that I can do this shit all the time, and then finally tune my videos, how I do my shit, get way more professional and attuned with the editing, which I'm working on. I've been doing open carry since I've been fired. Y'all haven't been seeing them because I've been recording them straight to the phone, so I can edit the videos and I do the live stream, because I don't want to do no more live streams doing open carries, because YouTube has been flagging my videos for the sight of the gun. And if YouTube will get past it, I would do the live streams like that. And I'll do some like little bits and pieces and make shorts and shit like that. But literal live streams with the open carry, I probably shouldn't do that no more, else I'm gonna lose my channel now. I mean, they've been cracking down recently, adjusting the community guidelines and shit like that, to say, man, look, guns and live streams, we'll fuck your whole shit up for that. Like, that's what they really own right now. So I'm gonna have to get off of that and just do edited videos. And I've been working on them. I got like 3 tightly knit edited videos that'll be posted. Hopefully one tonight, then another one tomorrow, and then another one the day after, back to back to back, 3 edited videos. And I want to go through some of my old material. I get live streams that never made it to live. I get open carries that never made it to live streams that I recorded to on my phone. That'll blow y'all mind. Actually, I'm going to do one probably tomorrow or sometime this weekend. But I've done one before where I've done an open carry demo in front of the Masonic Temple here in Cedar Rapids, and you get no driving traffic up there because it's a small street. And there's always some construction or something up there, so there's almost never a whole lot of drive-by traffic. So when I'm up there, I'm only talking to y'all because there's almost no actual traffic. But doing a live stream or doing a video in front of the Masonic Temple is fucking fun. It makes me feel kind of weird. It makes me feel kind of strange. But I like calling the motherfuckers out. Because it's not all of them, just like it's not all white people, just like it's not all black people. You racist motherfuckers. It ain't all nobody, but the ones that are, you get to call them out. And it's not all Masons, but the ones that are in control are Masons. They're Masons, they're Jesuits, they're cat boys and jaybirds. And I can't say the names of those two, but you put it together, you can figure out who I'm talking about. Cat boys and jaybirds. Together they call themselves the Jesuits. That's who's doing all of this for real. You can't go no further than that unless you start going interdimensional or intergalactic to go above them Jesuits. But yeah, man, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot to talk about. You guys have really only scratch the surface on what it is that I like to talk about, what I get into, and all of the things that kind of lead me to feel this level of confidence in what it is that I'm doing. What up? Truth does not exist. Who is this? Roy? Correction, they paved the way or the roads. Yeah, Cuzzo not going for no bullshit. You right, Rick James. Cuz not going for no bullshit. But yeah, man, as far as getting the work out there, I don't want to say manifest, because I do want to say manifest, but sometimes when you say manifest, people think, oh, so you want to do a whole lot of wishful thinking and then not put in the work. I'm totally willing and capable and thirsty to put in all of the work. But I want to say this out loud so that anyone who can make any kind of effort to influence the intent in a positive way, you need to hear me say it so that you know what the intentions are. That I want to take this opportunity, when I've been saying that I wish all I had to do was open carry demos and then I get fired. I've been saying this. I feel like I'm halfway doing this to myself. I believe we are co-authors of our reality, and sometimes I think once you say things, you do something to the universe. It's like the law of attraction. You begin to magnetize yourself and your thoughts with like-minded ideas in the universe when you say things out loud. I think that that's what happens in reality. I've seen it work too much for me to think that there's nothing there. I will forever want more and more proof, more and more examples of it doing that, because the consistency will kind of hold the belief in place. And I hate to say belief because I'm really talking about what it is that I think, but I want to say what it is that I want, so that you motherfuckers hear it, so that you play your part in trying to make it happen, and so that the universe know that this was the intent in the first place. From this moment on, is that I want the merch to remain to be creative, humorous, attention-getting, and artistic. I want it to continue to be more and more of that, so that it becomes attractive, so that the ideas spread, so that the idea and the opportunity for people to make a bold statement, even if it's only through a t-shirt, for you to say to the world that you won't be bullied by nobody, and you don't matter who the bully is or who sent them or none of that shit. I I want it to forever be that, so that it becomes more popular. And that I get my fix of creativity by further developing the merch and getting my enjoyment out of doing that, because it's an artistic thing and I love doing it. I also want to defeat any negative thoughts, any doubt, any that light was red as fuck. You tweaking? Any antagonistic attempts to stop what it is that I'm doing. Like, why would you want to stop me? I'm trying to help people. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. Just all of the negative things, you know. I want all that shit to subside. I want it to go away, and I want to defeat the negativity by all of my followers and all of my efforts and whatever the universe has done to put this in front of me now that I've been fired. I want the work to develop into something that I say, damn, look at that. I got fired and had all this time and opportunity. Now all I do is open carry demos and I can live my life. All I do is research on this and that or whatever, and then I'll live my life. All I do is stand up for the people and live my life. I don't got to work for nobody no more. Let's do that right now. Let's make that happen, because it's people that I'm close to. They go, man, I don't know if that's going to work. Like, damn, you got to do this and that, man. You know, so-and-so tried it, didn't really work. You know, this nigga over here did the podcast, it didn't really go off or whatever. This nigga, so like, I know that dumber ideas have worked out for people worse, that's worse of a person than I am, right? I'm a better person with a more creative idea than other people that have become successful. I'm not going to deny it even for a second that my worth is worth it, or that my work is worth it, and that people won't recognize the worth in it. That I can, starting now, to build very heavily towards monetizing through crowdfunding, sponsorship, Patreon that I want to work on. This shit is not impossible, bro, and I'm not going to sit back and go, oh, well, it's impossible. I don't know if it's going to work for me because it didn't work for these other people, or these other people had to sell out to do it. I don't think I got to sell out to do none of that shit. We can prove all of that to be the actual case in the world, and prove the world wrong again by trying to frame a movement like this inside of doubt or division. You know, let's not do that. Let's prove the universe is working for something greater by having me be fired at a time like this. It could be a beautiful thing, and it's not going to be a beautiful thing, and no one knows that I'm here. All right? So whatever you guys can do to promote the work, please do. Please consider me. Please share the shit. The documentary is going to be dope when I do it. It's going to be insane. If you think you know me and you think you like me, you have no idea. When you see this documentary and you hear my grandma tell the story, you hear my brother tell the story, you see where I grew up at, you hear some of these details in the custody battle that turned into my awakening to how bad government is, all the way to me losing my guns for like 2 years. Was the first time when I tried to get my guns up. I had 6 guns and then I lost them. And here we are in the 6th anniversary of my open carry activism. I wasn't even an activist back then. It's not like I am right now. All of this shit, I had to go through the pain of it to make it the way that I am right now. And I said that when I bounce back, I was gonna fucking bounce back, and then I turned into a whole gun rights activism, activist and everything. It's a dope story, man. It really is. If you want that, you gotta promote my shit. If you want me to be free to do that, to do the rap shit, to get the merch cracking, I want to get into being a firearms instructor, and then I want to do teach online classes and do videos, and then teach people right here in my community. I want to do charity work for a local Boys and Girls Club. I've met the founder of the Boys and Girls Club here in Cedar Rapids while doing an open carry demonstration, and she told me that guns don't got to be good, they don't got to be bad, they're just tools, and these kids need to know the fucking difference between what's good and what's bad about a gun. And I said, I'm going to work with you one day. Then I never went back. I never went, like I said that I was going to, but I have not forgot about her. And I would love to show up totally capable and willing and legit as a businessman to help them raise money and then to reach out to the kids in the local Boys and Girls Club. And now is the time. This shit is not gonna happen if don't nobody know who the fuck I am or what it is that I'm doing. Right? I should be way more popular than what I am right now, and I feel like I'm cheating the work because I can't get it out there as much as I need to be getting it out there so that they can shine and be all that they can be. Because I'm gonna need a fucking yes or no from everybody who fucking owns a gun in the country before I can be satisfied. All of y'all need to look at me and say yes or no to what it is that I'm doing and what I stand for. That's what I would like. And of course, you can't get all that exposure. It's super famous Hollywood motherfuckers that aren't known by everybody, right? You can name a famous singer from whatever music genre you get into. You'll find somebody that has absolutely no idea who that is, and they be famous as fuck. They be famous, rich as fuck, all over fucking TV. You'll find people that don't know who they are. So that's fine. I don't need to be known by everyone. But I feel like for the importance and what it is that I'm trying to magnify in a human experience, everything from my position on racism, how stupid it is on both sides, and why. Specifically, the things that I point out and then I'll talk to about every topic that I point to, for the most part, seems like shit that I've never heard anybody say before. Even if we agree on things, the way I point things out or definitive points, definitive evidence, and proof in the legitimacy in the conclusions that I come to on these things are usually things that I've never heard anybody say, and it tends to make a good argument or a good position to have undebatable. That I make things fucking undebatable, where it's like, dude, even if I disagree with you, I got a hard time like disagreeing with you now. And I don't know who could. I don't know who could disagree with you when you say that like that, because it's all true and it can only lead to that conclusion. Fuck! Like, I know I make myself feel like that when I come to terms with some of these truths that I discover of the world. I know I'm making some of y'all feel like that, and so many things that I want to address that I think will help us iron out real problems in this country and in the world, so that we can really give our kids and grandkids the peace that they deserve, man. We have to address these things, and we got to be raw. You got to be aggressive. You got to be unapologetic in how you approach these things and what it is that you see. And then you need to be coming with a solution, so you're not just bitching. If you're going to complain and you don't even know what to do about it, you bitching. A lot of these other political people who really rock with the so-called Second Amendment all over YouTube, I hear them complain about what the ATF is doing or what Congress is or is not doing and all this other shit, but they never give a solution. They just complain and scare the fuck out of people and be other news outlets that are unfiltered and may be truthful when CNN or MSNBC won't be truthful. Okay, cool. That's valuable. I hardly ever hear the remedy from you motherfuckers, and I think it's time for a remedy. I'll be the fucking remedy, bro. I know what it is that we need to be doing and saying, and I'm just going to say it too. I'm not going to give a fuck about how dangerous it sounds to you, or how scared you are, or you don't like that I called somebody a bitch, or a dumb fuck, or that I fucking low-key halfway wish death upon some politicians. Man, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, about how you feel about that, and somebody needs to just say it like that. I personally feel ashamed to be a grown-ass man in a country like this, an American, right? That I and other men have allowed for bad politics and bad politicians to run us into the ground the way that they are, to have us in the fucking chokehold right now, the way that they have us, and to look in my lifetime and no time before it has a president or any other politician been executed for violation of the oath of office or the Constitution or none of that shit. What that says is no politician has ever been in that much of a violation to deserve any of that. I think that's crazy. Because without that being the case, they're damn sure ruining the fucking country. How could they ruin the country and then not be criminal? Not criminal enough to deserve execution? We ain't never smoked no politician for being a bad politician. I think there's something wrong with that. Somebody deserved that shit. Somebody deserved it. Ain't no fucking way in hell that ain't no politician ever deserved execution. I'm disappointed. And the people shouldn't even have to do this. The sheriff should be running shit. I ain't never called for no revolution with any expectation that the average man be at the front of the line to fucking launch a revolution, a violent revolution. Nah, bad idea. As a matter of fact, I think they should be fighting inside of their own fucking operations way before it gets to us. Active duty military personnel, when they hear orders that cross lines or they gonna disturb their oath of office or the Constitution in a drastic way, they should be saying no first and then fighting their way out of there, or fighting whoever is moving forward to do, you know, such nefarious things. I think they would expect that, and I think any expectation that they have that we will be able to curb that final attempt for them to get the death grip on us as a country. They imagine what we could do to hinder their plans to do that, and then they come up with a backup plan to be sure that that doesn't happen through some kind of social engineering or byproduct of some social engineering efforts. For example, they wouldn't want us to come together if they were to turn the lights off, declare a new pandemic of some kind, and you know, and let's say they send our boys off to war in multiple countries in some third world war conflict, which it seems like that's what they want to do. When I say that kind of stuff, we all know that it kind of sounds like we're on the verge of that. So when I say that, and I say that idea that there's a third world conflict on the horizon, when I say that, and we all kind of go, well, I know what you mean when you said, I know what will make you say that. Be sincere in that recognition of that, because that's one of many things that should be the one hitter quitter that tells you that everything else that I say after that is valid enough that you should maybe consider what it is that I'm saying, because things are way too serious for you to be fucking around and acting like a little bitch about it. See what I'm saying? Third world conflict sounds serious. Now follow me in this fucking line of thinking. It would make more sense. I don't care how insurmountable it is. It would make more sense if all of the people of the world revolted to help curb a third world conflict, and then we arrest all of our politicians. I'm just throwing that out there. But that would be better than falling into a third world conflict while we all just agreed that it looks like we're falling into it. But then what would be better than that? Arresting all of the fucking politicians in all of the fucking countries. Every country that says, hey, somebody does have nuclear weapons pointed at us and they talking shit right now, everybody posturing. If that sounds like you as a citizen, you should look to your government and go, put your fucking gun down, bro. Put that shit down, okay? Y'all make sure y'all get y'all boys to put that shit down over there, okay? We should all just make the move to do that, but we never work enough to do that. We don't give a fuck about other countries enough. We let racial divides make us feel like we are different when we're not. There's black and white and everything in between. All of you motherfuckers are under these skies where they will fly overhead. I don't know why the fuck you think you better than me about anything. I don't know why a white boy think that he better than me about nothing. They fluoridated your water too, you dumb fuck. Now, do they think you better than me? I don't think that they think that. That's just you. That's just you thinking like that. Stupid. That's why I don't like y'all. That's why I don't like people, bro. It should be way too, man. I be having little tips with racist motherfuckers online every now and then. So sometimes it's hard for me to ignore it. Sometimes I gotta drop some gems on them real quick too, because if I can make a racist idiot like feel stupid, I'll do that. Because deep down I know I would want to punch him, but I know that that's crazy too. Because violence over words is fucking stupid, and I know it. A couple years ago, some girl got killed here in Cedar Rapids. She was called a nigger by a man of a white couple that she was in a physical fight with. She was fighting the wife of this couple. She was called a nigger by the husband, and then when she attacked the husband, he stabbed her with a knife that he had. But the black girl did break past the threshold of this man's dwelling. She reacted off of words. He stood where he was in his own doorway. She the one to progress towards him with violence. He already had the knife in his hand, which is not a crime for him to stand there with the knife. for him to then engage her in battle after she did all of that, I don't even think the man was in the wrong. And it sounds like I'm sticking up for the racists, but I think that people should be able to say what the fuck they want, and you can't be violent. People think, oh, so you should be able to call her a nigga. No, they should have had a conversation about where the nigga shit came from and what is it that he really means. Because if she could articulate herself after he said that, she would have maybe been able to make him feel stupid and intellectually inferior to her. Then she would have maintained her life and maybe made him feel stupid, and then she could have won the battle of words because racism is stupid. So she should have did that. That's what I would have did. You probably couldn't get me to fight you over you calling me a nigger. I would think you were funny, then I would dare you to treat me like one. Cross a line where it gives me the legal right to fucking shoot you so you can die for your racism. That sounds way better to me, for me to take that position, because then I can do what? What did I say about 30 minutes ago that I like to do? Get what it is that I want without fucking getting myself killed for it, because I want it all. I want to win the whole thing. I want what it is that I want, and I'm not dying for none of that shit. I don't have to. Just give it to me. So now I'm going to find out how to do that. Right? It makes sense to me. That's the intellectual way to do that. That's the moral way to do that. Right? But people should be able to say what they want. So that girl shouldn't have died for that shit. That's not what I mean. I wish that it never happened. But I wish that she was so damn smart and so far above this motherfucker that she laughed at him when he said that. She should have laughed at him. Because what it is that he thinks that he sees in a black woman, for him to call her a nigger, he can't even blanket that over every black person. He couldn't, even if he thought he saw it in her, right? He's living in a shithole apartment. I know what these apartments are. I know where the apartment complex is, right? I've had friends that lived out there before. I know they're shitty apartments. This white man knows that there's a black man out there that is way more educated, way more of a safer, loving influence to his kids than what he is to himself, to his white kids. He knows that that exists. He knows that this black man, it's not even imaginary. You can find this black man. I, for one, might be it to him. Because I don't live in a shitty apartment like that, right? Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying. The different things that he would use to measure a man's worth inside of his own head, he can find some black man who's rocking that well better than what it is that he's doing. From all angles. Some black man is champion of all of the things that this white man might hold as a standard of what a good man is. And in recognition that he might say, yeah, that's true, that this man is going down the checklist of all the things that I think that makes a real man. Who is this man? You show him a picture of a black man, and he'd have to admit, I just called this black man a good man. He would say that. He would have to say it. And because of that, his racism is diffused. The only thing that's left is that if he's willing to fucking treat me like a nigga so I can fucking show him what's up. There's nothing else left because I've already intellectually triumphed over him. I can prove it to him himself that the racism is stupid, man. It couldn't lead you nowhere. It's just untrue. This idea that black men don't want to be fathers is crazy. I'm an awesome stepfather to a white kid. While his white father's he ain't heard this man's voice in years. Don't fucking talk to me about nothing. I'm an awesome father to my kids. Naturally, too. I naturally feel like all of this. My childhood geared me for fucking fatherhood, bro. I couldn't wait to be a dad. I knew I was going to be a good dad. When I was a kid, I knew. I knew it. Right? There's nothing inside the melanin inside my skin that'll fucking tell me that fatherhood is a game to play. And that I don't have to be good at, that I don't have to win. That winning is running. That escaping it is the win. Well, what about me being black would ever make me feel like that? It's got to be an environmental thing. Because if it's something that's just inherent in black guys, how did all of it miss me so much like that I don't feel nothing like that at all ever? That I would take care of a white kid that ain't mine. To give him the tools he needs to stand up against a competitive world full of men when he finds his own fucking manhood. I'm going to gear him with the tools to be sure that he's successful in doing that as a man when he grows up. Why would I do that? The black guy, right? I'm not the only one, too, that's kind of crazy, too, huh? Right? Right? Y'all are weird. Racism is weird, right? Black guys don't feel like this because they black. Environmental things might influence the likelihood that not just black guys, because white guys fall for it, too. Mexican guys, other guys fall for it, too. It's just so heavily engineered inside of what you would call a black community that you will inevitably see more of the after effects, the cause. I mean, you know, the effect of the causes that'll make a man choose violence. If he comes from a broken home, he's way more likely to do that. So then they break the home. They've long since broken homes in the black community, and we know this from slavery and the buck breaking and all of the other types of humiliation rituals and other things that they do to damage the image of a strong black man, to the welfare system and what it is that they've done to this idea of independence in black women. When they're not independent, they're heavily dependent on government instead of men, holding men responsible. And then when you consider the incarceration rate being a big reason why black men aren't inside of the homes, it's not because we are dodging fatherhood and we think that's a fucking game to play and that we don't even need to take it seriously. A lot of them think, damn, I did want to be a father. I just so happened to do criminal shit and get myself locked up in prison. I did want to be there with my kids. I just want to be a criminal in the house with my kids though. So there's this weird image in this thing, man. And then white people who can't recognize the social engineering enough to be honest, won't accredit these things to these situations and circumstances so they can lift this idea that it's a black thing. As soon as they get away from that, I can understand if you don't like nigga shit, but to think that it's a black guy thing, to not even want to be a father because we think it's funny, because we think it's a fucking game, you got to know that that's not true. And you can look at this and see it, and you can tell, because these same racist people give cut very little slack and have very little hope or respect or anything at all for the quote-unquote black experience in this country. That when I'm arguing with these motherfuckers, I can tell that who I'm arguing with online, these racist motherfuckers online, that if they were cops, they would unfairly attack black people behind that fucking badge, furthering this narrative that the system is doing this to black people to keep them back. And then they would say, no, the fuck is not, you're just a nigger-ass fucking criminal. But the whole time that he know that he is using what it is that he is doing, that he is coming with, this badge, to further what it is that he wants to tell black people that they ain't even real, it's just them, because nobody's doing that to them. They're fucking psychos, and I'm glad that none of these motherfuckers that I argue with online have badges. And they might look at that, they hide behind like profiles that don't even got their real pictures. They ain't got their real pictures in their profiles. Don't even got their real pictures or nothing. No pictures of them online. Not on their IG or nothing. When I see that, then I go, you could be a judge, arguing with me, talking about niggas are just bad because they black. It's just crazy. We divided like that. We never gonna get over that enough to fucking fix this shit because motherfuckers is dumb. I think it's an intellectual flaw to be racist. It's a lack of an IQ for you to be racist. As soon as you are intellectually strong enough to examine the world for what it really is, then you would understand that through positive influence and maybe heavy influence that takes so much work that the average man and woman or family unit, they won't put in the work to create these things, but creating it is very obvious and simple to do. If you have any intellectual power inside of your fucking brain, you would know the environment can make or break an entire child, that you can make a black genius like that. Create that environment, you're gonna make a genius. You know that it's environmental. If you're smart as hell and you know how the fucking world works at all, you would say, oh, the environment can heavily influence that way beyond what you think race or genetics would ever do it. Get into that environment and then you can make what it is that you want. That's what the intellectual person was saying, thus you couldn't be racist. All you gotta do is just know that much, and then you can say, well, I can't be racist. I think the environment does so much to a man that it's true. The CIA will go so far as to do mind control experiments where they break human beings and then create military soldiers. They be breaking motherfuckers. I've heard stories. They break you and then build you back up the way they want. It's a mind control kind of a thing, and you can split personality the fuck out of somebody. And the CIA has done experiments to do exactly that, and they know what to do. And their experiments are on the basis of proving actually that environment is so critical to the shaping of a person that you can break a person completely down and possibly even make a killer. A cold-hearted, heartless killer with no consciousness, no conscience at all about their actions, might even forego self-preservation. They might even throw their own lives into the wind like it means nothing if you break the human mind enough through these psychological testing and different things and shit that they've experimented on. And when they do that, they know, oh, this spans across the whole fucking racial. You think we couldn't do this to a nigga? Yeah, we could. It's got nothing to do with you being black and white. It's got nothing to do with nothing. What it is that you learn, the language that you speak, or none of that shit. You take a black child that was born to some ghetto ass fucking southern parents in Athens, Georgia. Fucking, I don't give a fuck where. Uh, Mesa, Arizona. I don't give a fuck where you can take these poor black people. Take their child from birth, take them to Russia, raise them in Russia. They speak the language and the culture. You can feed them a fairy tale story that they were from another fucking planet and fucking sent here to do this or that, whatever. You can totally brainwash this child into never even remembering that their parents were ghetto ass black folks in America and that they were not from some special fucking planet. They're not an alien, and Russia should not have been their first language, but motherfuckers brought you here type shit. I mean, we are almost blank pieces of paper even from birth, really. And sometimes the unintentional nuances of the influence will get in the way of some deep-seated probing mind control experiments that the CIA might get into, to the degree that they like to take people way out of an environment that's not completely controlled by them, so that they can run these experiments, because they want to see what it's like when the influence is strictly them for whatever reason. If anybody ever heard of the experiment with a little baby, what's the baby experiment that they did like way back in the day? I've seen like video footage of it and shit, done some research, because I wanted to see, when I first heard of this story, it blew my mind. Then when I read the article, I couldn't believe it. Then I wanted to see the video. I was shocked that they had video of this. So then when I found the video, it was even shocking that they had some videos and pictures of this little baby that they took from birth, and they used all different types of like cold scientific environments and experiments on the child to see what would make him tick. And I think they even killed the child, maybe inside of the experiment, so the child died later or something. But they was using jump scares and like crazy masks and all type of shit. But the interaction between the child and the world was fucking twisted, and it just wasn't natural or normal at all. And they completely fucked with this kid trying to figure something out. And who they did that to was a white baby. So just know that when they want something, they might pick on you for black reasons because you black, but they want to fuck with everybody, and everybody is under the gun when it comes to government. Just know that everybody's under the gun. Nobody's going to be spared from the biggest acts of government warfare and betrayal of their own people. Nobody's going to be exempt from that shit because they're white. So stop it, white boy, thinking that you're better than me, that you're going to get favored. You're not. You're going to die right next to me. Shut your bitch ass up. And black folks, stop blowing these white people's heads up, trying to make them feel like you do recognize that there's special privilege out here for them because they're white. Because I see white people go through shit when they encounter white people that don't give a fuck about none of that white brotherhood camaraderie. And white people ain't on that brotherhood camaraderie with every white person that they come into it with. White people are going to bump up against people who are not trying to play a racial game with them, that just don't like them, don't want to see them do good, want to attack them, want to take some from them, will choose a black man over you because of whatever reason. All of that is out here for the white boy too. This idea of white favoritism, though I can understand where it's coming from, it's a gamble even for the white boy that he's ever going to find favor in it. Good luck trying to find a favor in it. And even then, the favor be superficial. When they crash the dollar, turn the fucking lights off, and they fucking fluoridate, give you the fluoridated water and all that other shit, motherfucker, they gave that to your white ass too. They gave it to you too, stupid. You ain't better than me. They don't even like you for real. They don't even like you for real like that. It's a bloodline thing. What up, open up? It's a bloodline thing with the elite. They don't give a fuck about you being white. They don't even give a fuck about me being black. They give a fuck about the resources. Black folks just so happen to be like land markers to show them where to dig to get the resources. And I think that black folks, if anything, I think we have a duty to save ourselves and the world and the rest of the world, all the white people too. I think we're supposed to save them from these governments, because if there's some give back to be had about the raping and pillaging of the earth for resources that would just be used to enslave the rest of the world, if there's any give back for that, I think it's us that was supposed to be doing that. we served as landmarkers to show them where to fucking get the shit when it should have been us. And you could tell that if it was us, we would have quote unquote ruled the world with a softer, more loving hand than what I think the Caucasian has done. I don't think they did it for Caucasian reasons. It's just easy to draw this correlation between different sides of this, the indigenous and the invaders, is because they just so happen to be white and then black. So then you think, that's the battle, but it's like you weren't even there with your white ass. You wasn't there to conquer shit. They actually conquered a whole bunch of shit that had nothing to do with you, so that they can enslave you with it. And you should be heavily engulfed in fighting rage at whoever is trying to control your white ass with stolen resources. We all got the same enemy, really. I just look like the landmarker that showed them where to get this shit. That's it, man. Because I couldn't imagine the elite, when I know it's a bloodline thing, I don't think they would stop from raping and pillaging Africa if Africa and Europe switched places, and if Africans and Europeans switched places and Africa was full of white people throughout history. I don't think the bloodline will fucking stop and say, well, we can't take it from the white folks. Man, they came to run this shit. They gonna take this shit from whoever's standing on it. And I know that for a fucking fact. They would not stop what it is they're doing. It don't even make no sense. It's too critical. It's too important what it is that they're doing. They think that they are ordained by God himself to rule this shit. They are the bloodline. It's a bloodline thing. It's not a race thing. All you gotta do is use some intellect. If you know enough about the world, and it don't even take much. It wouldn't even take much. All you gotta do is know enough about the world, and it'll make you say, the racism thing, I don't think I should sink my teeth into that like that and act like that on either side about any of that. I think you will harbor energy from me that's better deserved someplace else. I don't want to fight over there. I damn sure wouldn't want to die over something racial. That'd be sad, bro. I was like, man, what for? My death should have been about something else, about some racial shit. Silly, bro. Silly as fuck. That's a dumbass reason to want to hurt somebody or to wish somebody harm. And just like all black people, not what these racists say, I know all white people not stupid and ignorant like you, and I already know it. I already know not every fucking white person is fucking racist, black guy hater, and all this. When I know that that's not true, there's nothing that a racist white guy can say to me to make me hate all white people. It's already too late. I know everybody don't think like you. Just like all black people not with all that black power shit like that. Some of us say, nah. Some of these white people haven't fallen for the team. They don't go with the white team thing. Like, they don't count on that. They don't recognize it, really. They don't give a fuck about it. And they think that it's harmful, so they don't really rock like that. They don't even teach their kids that shit. And when I know that there's white people like that, you can't give me to hate all white people. I don't care how many racist ones you show me. It don't matter. RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang, get a fucking gun today and stop playing. Check the video later. I'll be posting my video later today, my edited video. I hope y'all like this shit. It's kind of funny because I put a little humor into it. And I enjoy editing the videos, and now I got all this fucking time to edit the video, so that's what I'm gonna do. So be on the lookout for that. I make YouTube shorts too. Those are sometimes comical as well. So don't ignore the channel. The channel is full of material and content. More to come. And if you really, really like me, you really want me to rock with this shit, this needs to be all that I do. Let's make that a real thing, man. The universe is giving us an opportunity. Make it a real thing so that I can say that it's become a real thing. You can't just say it and wish me well and all. Man, we got to do it. All right? Wu Bang, man.